Power 106 Brown Bag Mornings. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Letty, got my guy Vic in here.
That's right.
And it's a pleasure, an honor to have not only a legend, but a young legend visiting us too. We got our guy Swizz Beatz and Nasir Dean in here.
Yes,
What's
Thank
up,
you.
y'all?
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Oh my gosh.
Good morning.
Okay, Nasir, is it Nas or Nasir? Because you say Nas.
You can call me Nas, but my name is Nasir.
Nasir.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you are Swizz Beatz' son.
That is correct.
That is
Swizz Beatz is
So
my
then why
genetic
aren't
I'm
father.
glad
you-
he's saying this
Yeah.
because he thinks he's my father, but it's
Ooh.
Oh.
He's my genetic father. And it's
But
amazing.
he looks up to you, literally, because
yeah.
Swizz, literally, I want you to know this. Behind the scenes talk. We're a little gossip folk. We saw you walk in the halls and we're like, dude, how tall is Swizz Beatz? Google it right now. And we're like, 6'1". At least that's what Google says.
Yes, that's true.
Nas comes in here and he's even taller than you are.
He had the duck in the room.
That's wild.
6'5", going on 6'6".
Wow.
That's so tight. Now, Nas, why are you not Nasir Beatz?
Because I'm Nasir Dean, and him being my genetic father again, it was like I just it was just so much fun, calling him dad, and he
Yeah.
called me Nas, so it wasn't like we had to it wasn't forced,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my artist name was Note Marcado, so that was a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying?
You get to play in your own realm, too. It's like...
So much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. I'm very blessed in the fact that I could have creative outlets
Yep.
and be inspired by my family and friends, my genetic father.
Genetic father is crazy.
Unbelievable.
Isn't it a trip as a parent? We're all parents.
Yeah.
So the stuff your kid, like I have a brother and my brother's kids call him Jerry. That's his actual name. I'm like, call him dad, please. That's your dad. Like, 'cause
Jerry.
our dad would have,
That's a fact.
but it just sound like my genetic dad over here.
Yeah, Genesis, my youngest be trying to play with me. Tell me, what's up, Swiss?
No way.
No way.
I just ignore him.
Yeah, I'm not answering, so call me dad.
I just ignore him.
You guys are here. Hulu, it starts November 16th. We're talking about driving with Swizz Beatz and with you, Nas. I love that this concept is you guys loving cars together, hitting different cities. I'm seeing Atlanta, New York. I'm seeing you guys touch down on the West Coast as well.
Of course.
Is that a hobby you guys had together? Like, look, we both love cars. I know Swizz, it goes back with you. But how about even just enveloping Nas into just, I guess, that love for cars?
No, it wasn't a shared interest until we started the show.
Wow.
And then I learned how to love cars. Literally.
Okay.
Like he knows I'd rather get like a submarine or something, but
That's hilarious. I'd rather
when
get
we
like
got
a
into
jet.
drive and I got in that monster truck and they let me drive it, I fell in love with cars. So that's
the
how.
monster truck.
Yeah. So now we went to go see this the Ferrari truck. That was really
Come
cool.
on.
Recently, it was really cool.
That's so dope. I love how you're continuing. Like, I feel like Swizz, you're like a Hall of Famer of automobiles because it's not just cars. It's like you guys, Rough Riders, came out with the motorcycle bikes, the 4-wheelers, all that stuff, and it's like that's like me being from the West Coast and being like a kid. That was the first time I seen people do dangerous stunts like that.
Yeah, man.
And in the Rough Riders video, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, right? But and then you go on to like design Aston Martin.
Yes.
You know what I'm
yes.
saying? And it's like now you guys are doing this and like just spreading car culture
Yep.
from everywhere. And to me, it's like, or at least from us, like our point of view, when we think of New York, we don't necessarily think cars.
That's a fact.
Outside looking in, right? Because we're California, we drive. We think you guys take the subway and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I've been in
I
New York
agree
and I
with
know
that.
people have cars now, but just tell.
You're right, though.
Yeah, talk to me about like the car culture out there.
Well, I think, it was important for us to do a show that was educational. The Rough Riders culture is highlighted in the show in the New York edition as
Nice.
well. But then we showed the BBS boys from New York where all they collect is vintage cars from the 80s and the 90s.
Oh,
So,
like the paid in full joints.
yeah, all of those.
Okay.
All of those. And then we showed PCNY, which was McLarens. They're more flashy with the Ferraris.
Yeah.
But the thing with the show is I didn't want to do a blinged out show. I wanted to do a show that showed people that no matter what's your budget, no matter what, it wasn't on no status basis. It was based on passion. And it's a family show. And when you see these car coaches come together, you're going to see, even here in L.A., so many car coaches and families that's like right under your nose. You're going to be like, Dag, this is right here happening in L.A.?
Yeah.
Because I've been collecting since 17, 18, and I learned so much from my own show,
Right.
and it was amazing to see.
You know what's wild is I peeped a bit about the LA scene. And automatically, us being Latino from Los Angeles and everything, you're going to hit the Lowriders. But you didn't hit the Lowriders.
Yes.
Even that, I'm like, you didn't
Yes.
go for the obvious.
Nah.
Talk to me about what happened when you came to Los Angeles for this show, Driving, that's going to drop on Hulu November 16th.
When we came to Los Angeles,
Oh man,
bro, like,
oh
are we allowed
man.
to speak about this?
Please.
I don't know, because we had to edit. Los Angeles is so lit. We had to edit a couple of things.
Oh,
Okay.
I love
we
it.
might
Did
be
you
dropping
guys do donuts where you weren't supposed to?
Oh.
Did you guys Fast and
Did you
Furious it
guys
up here?
participate in takeovers?
Yeah.
Yes,
Damn!
like a real takeover.
Oh.
No, those are wild. That's a thing out here.
It was so much
it
fun.
was-
Wow.
Nuts. I loved it.
But, you know, everyone should be safe. Like, that was the main
For sure,
thing.
for
When we
sure.
were there, like, we had to make sure
Right.
we were on our P's and Q's because, you know, it gets hectic.
Right.
But we kept it tight. So.
But the thing, okay,
Car culture, just like any culture, good, bad, and ugly. You have to see it all, you know, and you have to
Very
see like
true.
the extremities happen everywhere. And I think LA too, we push it to the limit because we have so many roads, you know, like you were
Yeah.
talking about New York. It kind of can seem very limited to where you can be enthusiasts, but out here it's freaking open lanes.
but the thing that I noticed, and I'm actually noticing it now, is that the art that those kids were doing was the same art that we seen in Japan. The difference is Japan had a track that was actually built out for people to do these different things.
Yeah.
You know, I wish that it was a track here in LA that was
True.
dedicated
That would
to the
allow
drifters
them-
that turns into a real sport instead of, something where they're getting chased by the police and
Yep.
endangering their lives. And
Yeah.
it was crazy because I got to see the juxtaposition of that when we went to Japan. I was like, dang, like imagine if the kids in LA had this.
Yeah.
And they trained to do it. And
Yeah.
like violence wasn't
Yeah.
involved. And it didn't get to that point because it was actually solidified.
There's some type of regulation with it out there, and that can make it more like just, again, like less criminal, but also less violent, less losing your life, because
Yeah,
that's
because
what ends up happening sometimes.
Those kids
out here.
wasn't criminals. They
Yeah.
was they
No.
was
Yeah.
car fanatics. Like
Right.
They're
they,
going to have fun.
they,
Yeah. It just
Out here,
gets
they're
dangerous.
criminals though too, because they're be stealing catalytic converters, and then they be doing like we do a lot out here.
Yeah.
We do too
I-
much.
And then,
I don't know if that part wasn't.
and then it's always a guy in a Mustang tail smacking
Yeah.
somebody on accident. Like it's always.
You guys hit up different cities. It's cool to see that you guys went to Japan and you guys hit up different cities around America. What's been like the standout? Like, I didn't know this about cars. You say, so it's like we said, going back to the Rough Riders, going back to your collab with Aston Martin, like you've kind of been in it. There's nothing really new you could learn, but you found yourself learning. What's something that you were like, what?
Something as simple as I thought I knew what a low ride. I mean, I thought I knew what a hot rod was. You know, if I say what's a hot rod, probably everybody in this room going to describe an old car with an engine coming out that has this
brain,
particular
yeah.
look.
Yep.
But a hot rod is anything that's modified. So in the show, you're
Shut
going to
up.
see, So in the show, you're going to see somebody building a hot rod engine with their hands, and somebody 3D printing a hot rod engine for a
Whoa.
McLaren.
Yeah.
Right, and so
Very
like
advanced.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
any modification to a vehicle turns it to a hot rod,
Wow.
and that's just like a simple thing that was, people was like, okay, out of these 10 cars, can you pick out what's a hot rod? I'd have picked probably one car that looked like a hot rod.
That had the engine on the top.
Yeah.
Jay Leno would ride or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Nas, how old are you?
I just turned 23 last week.
Jesus Christ, baby. I feel like you never had a car that you had to roll up the window.
Well, there was an episode.
He did, he never
Wait. There is an episode when we're in Atlanta,
Yeah.
and he's teaching me stick shift,
Wow.
and that is comedy.
I
on,
bet.
on my first car, the Nissan Z300.
Oh, the Z.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was my first car. I paid 6 G's for it, and ended up putting 60,000 in it, coming from the hood.
Wow.
Dang, and you learned
60
stick
Benz?
first.
Yeah,
Stick shift. That's crazy. Did you
Yeah.
get it, or was it like no? It
I
kept
was
stalling.
getting the hang of it. Like, it took
Yeah.
it took him a couple of frights.
Yeah.
Like,
I had to
and
put my
it's a couple,
seatbelt on
you know,
immediately.
sliding back a little bit, but then at the end I got the hang
Yeah,
of it.
that's
Yeah.
how you used to drive in the 1500s. It's just a thing. Yeah.
crazy.
Times have advanced for
Futures
sure.
now.
Swizz, so you mentioned that this is not necessarily only a car show. This is a family show.
Yes.
So tell me about the family aspect of it and like, how you guys bonded during the filming of the show.
Man, we we went on the Gumball 3000 for what year was it? Your 18th birthday?
2018.
Yeah, for his 18th birthday, and this was out the country. That one was a little more stressful because the car that I had, the steering wheel was on the wrong side.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
And so we had to we didn't win the race.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what?
We were number one and we came last every single place.
Yes.
Oh,
We had the most.
like you were the
we saw
number
most,
one.
But our number was one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Number one for fun.
And then so
you guys had a great time.
yes.
Like, you didn't win
So you know what?
anything.
Let's forget about racing these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Let's use this as a father and son trip.
Nice.
And so that was the beginning when we was listening to what was our theme song? I
Rivers
follow.
by Leaky Lee.
I follow you, deep sea baby.
Hold on. It's
I
Leaky Lee. It's
follow
not
you.
likely.
Yes, that,
Leak?
yeah.
Is it this Leaky Lee?
I don't know.
Somebody's
It's
saying
one
it
of
wrong
those.
and somebody's saying it right.
Yeah.
Poll up right now. Is it Leaky Lee or is it likely? I don't know.
It
I
might
was
be.
saying Nasir and it's actually Nasir, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's all good.
Yeah.
And so with the show, it didn't start off with Nas a part of it. And then I said, you know, I think that he would be a great co-host. And I think that,
You
and
still
I,
think that?
yeah,
Okay, cool.
You
yeah.
guys are so cute.
I do. He's good.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in our communities, in black and brown communities, you don't see fathers and sons traveling together, being together. You're always hearing that the dad is not there. It's always
Yeah.
these stories. So I wanted to tell the narrative that, you know, you can spend time,
Yep.
and there are parents that spend time with their, you know, fathers with their kids.
Yep.
And so it just the show just shaped organically into a family show,
Nice.
That's
into an
beautiful.
educational show.
Right in time for Thanksgiving too.
Yes.
Like that's a
Yeah.
beautiful show to watch. And I'm sure Nas, like when you were saying like this wasn't my thing, but allowing myself to be a part of it, now I have parts of like the same type of hobby that dad has, but there's things I like about it. Like it's custom to you now, right? I was talking to Vic because Vic's dad has a car club for like lowriders and stuff. I'm sure like that, regardless of what disconnects them, that could be something that connects them, you know?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
So your dad has a club?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're gonna love the Japan because we highlighted lowriders in
In Japan. It's
Yes.
crazy. So we actually
Damn,
have
that's tight.
we actually have a
Yeah.
chapter out there.
Oh, yeah?
Stylistics Japan.
Wow.
And that's like literally on my bucket list to go. I need to go
Yeah.
next year
Definitely
to go
have to go.
visit.
I never
the
seen a
lowrider in
lowrider
Japan.
drift in my life. Like,
They do
I didn't even
lowrider
know we could
drifting?
do that. Or
Watch-
they could do that.
watch what you're gonna see.
Come on.
Like
That's
the
fire.
lowrider drifted.
Right.
I was like, whoa.
Do they play cruising while they do it?
Nah, they didn't. They
Like
wasn't,
Smokey
But
Robinson?
Smokey Robinson.
I didn't hear no music.
Got it.
But I
Too
think
focused.
the
We were screaming, bro. We were in the car.
yeah, we
While
was
they were
definitely
at it?
screaming. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. We've been screaming the whole show.
Yeah.
It's very true.
I'm sure everyone asked, and I'm just gonna go ahead and ask: is he named after Nas?
Yes.
Wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
You guys are the history that just comes with you stepping into the room is wild.
Absolutely.
So like for Nas,
But he don't even know a Nas verse.
I was. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I know you do. I know you do.
I know.
Don't let him play you like
No.
that.
Listen, I'm not even gonna indulge in
You
this.
see?
What I'm gonna say is, do you know what Nasir means?
No, what does it mean?
For everyone who's wondering, Nas derives from Nasir, means protector, provider, victor.
Come on.
You know, thank you, mom, for the name.
Damn, I thought it meant
you-
Godson.
Ooh,
That's Nas.
What is it?
Hip hop reference.
Godson.
Okay, I want to talk about just the hip hop influence. You know, we're talking. I was showing him "Been Down" with you and Nip, and it surprised me that you have Eritrean heritage. I didn't know that.
I didn't know it either.
Okay, well, Google says you have Eritrean heritage. But I was like, dude, him and Nipsey with "Been Down" is one of my favorite verses from Nip. It dropped in like 2017, but it's like like you stay down, the game bless you, and like
Yeah.
you in the background, and I know it felt very like big. I was telling Vic, I'm like, it feels like an orchestra,
Yeah.
and then the verses that Nip spits,
Man.
it can still hit to this day, and that's something beautiful with the intentionality in hip hop, and especially the way that he wrote. Can you talk to me about that collaboration?
Yeah, that collaboration, me and Nip always been cool. I mentored him in many different areas of some in business, some in art. You know, I remember seeing him the last time I seen him was out here in LA. And he threw like a Grammy party and
Yep.
and he dressed up and he was like, man, you know, I want to like get to the level of where Hove is and I want to take it a little bit more serious and he was kind of like flying solo. He didn't have like a bunch of people with him.
Yep.
He was super clean and I dressed up just to compliment what he was doing and to support him and and that song we did, like, out of nowhere, he called me out and he's like, yo, remember the song we did? He's like, I'm in New York. I got the spot. They're going to let me have it for like 2 hours. It's in Queens. It was in Queens or Brooklyn or one of the places. I said, all right, I'm going to pull up. And we ended up spending like 10 hours in there just having
Doing
fun.
the video,
Yeah, just having fun doing the video, reminiscing, smoking cigars. We had Douce. It was a very natural brotherly moment. And, Nip was one of one, and that song and many songs is amazing.
When you hear, do you get what I'm saying? Like there's artists that can make songs that might be of the time, but there's moments with what you did in production and with what he did on lyricism that makes it forever. Anytime he spit game about like how to represent yourself within business and within rap, that's forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Definitely. And being that I listen to all types of music.
Yeah, no.
And he's one of the artists that has exponential impact on the culture, even with people that don't listen to his style of music. His music actually motivated everybody that I know that listened to it. Like, it's actually utilized in that way. And that's
the power of music.
R.I.P. the legend, Nipsey Hussle.
Man.
Absolutely. I noticed that when like looking through your discography, it's like you have a lot of hits with the same people. Like you lock in with people, or like they keep going back to you for the sauce. Like there's Lil Wayne, there's Jadakiss.
Yeah.
Just talk to me about like when you really lock in with an artist and like your chemistry. How
well, the reason why is because it's called, you have a formula with that artist.
Yeah.
And I like to lock in and produce.
Yeah.
Some people, they just want like the now hit, which we can do, but it's something better when you can create a sound, a movement, a project. And I work better when I know that we have multiple ways that we can express the creative part. Multiple songs with Jay, multiple songs with, many of those artists. And the game was different at that time as well. The game was, it was more collaborative. I think it's collaborative now, but it's like, I think it was more lock in. Than it is now. Now it's quick pace. It's like, yo, I'm gonna be in the studio for 2 days, pull up, give me a tape, boom, 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 and it's done. I remember us sitting there, mood boards, concepts, energies. I want this to lean more towards the club, or I want this to lean more towards the street, or I want to connect more with the women. Like, so you had the DNA of the project at that time, and then that's what I focused on. Bringing that to life.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Look, thank you guys so much for coming by.
Thank you for
Nas,
having us.
thank you for coming by, Swizz.
Thank
You
you.
can watch it Hulu November 16th.
Yes.
Driving with Swizz Beatz and Drive with Swizz Beatz and Nasir Dean.
Yes.
One more question before you go. Did you surprise Nas with that you named your kid after Nas, or did you tell him? Did he show up, or how was it?
Hold up, who
Did
showed
you
up?
surprise Nasir Jones,
No.
or you were like, "Hey, I named my kid after you"?
Nah, I told him like years later.
Oh,
No
okay.
way.
Yeah.
And then I met him years later, and I was like, what's up, Nas? He was like, what's up, Nas?
In Spanish, we call it tocayo. Tocayo is when you have the same name as someone.
Tocayo.
So-
You
What's up,
could say,
tocayo?
call him, that's my tocayo.
Yeah.
Hey.
Vibes. No, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank
We're
you,
making
guys.
sure to watch it right in time for Thanksgiving to have that good vibes with your family, with your friends. Make sure you peep it.
Yes.
It's called Drive with Swizz Beatz on Hulu November 16th. It's Power 106.
Za,
Tune
za, za.
in.